Okay, yeah, recording's on now. And so what I'm telling you right now is yesterday we did problems on each side of a square. We've taken a square, we have tried to lay it down horizontally in a XY axis or a XZ axis, and we changed the directions of the electric field, and we saw what uh, the effect of the electric field is on each side of a square, uh, and what flux or electric flux it gives us. So flux, I said, depends upon three things. That is, I'll write it here. Okay, phi. Okay, this doesn't seem to work now. Phi is equal to E dot A. So electric field into area vector. So basically the amount of electric field lines that pass through a surface affects the flux. More number of electric field lines will give you more number of flux. Okay, this is area vector. If the area vector is having a 0-degree angle with the electric field line, then you're going to get how much? Cos 0 is 1. So you're going to get the maximum output. If electric field line and the area vector is having a 90-degree 90-degree angle, then cos 90 is basically 0. So you're going to get a very low value. And if you go to values of theta which are above 90-degree, then you're going to get negative values, and so that electric field, the flux will be in negative. So you'll get low values which are lower than 0. Okay, so that basically is, if you have not understood or if you have not attended yesterday's lecture, this is a good time to understand because we still have the basics. So anyways, here I'll be showing you just let me test this thing. There seems to be a problem with my green marker. I don't know, maybe. Okay, no problem. I'll be trying to explain it to you using a red marker today. So please pay attention. Okay, this is electric field lines. Okay, I'll write them as E. They are passing through this cube. Okay, and as they are passing through the cube, what can you analyze? What can you analyze? The first thing is there are 6 sides to this, and the electric field lines are basically going through these areas. Now, before you just analyze the entire cube as one entire area, it's better to divide it into a number of sides. And so you can see that this is surface 1. I'll just cover it up. See, look, this is surface 1. Okay, this is surface 1. So when electric field lines are passing through this surface, what are you going to get? And after this electric field lines pass through this surface number 1, they are going to pass through this surface number 2.
So we have to find the flux for the entire area,
yes,
or
find
for
the flux
cube.
for the entire cube. What is going to be the flux through the entire cube? Can you give me an answer?
So for the upper and
yeah, I cannot hear you. Please speak loud.
Sir, is it E naught A cube?
One minute, everyone. 1 minute. Yes, it is E naught A cube. It's E naught A cube. How many of you all have got the answer? How many of you
have got?
Great. Okay. Good guys, you all have tried. But for those who don't know, please pay attention over here. I'll not waste much time. So you all pay attention. This is yeah. Yes. Please tell me.
Sir, the flux is found to. Sir, it is found for the area from which the electric field lines are passing, or the whole shape.
Yeah. It is the whole shape. It is the whole shape. And I'll explain to you. Why I'm not marked the entire thing. I'll explain. Don't worry. So see, look at this. So the electric field lines are going through this surface 1. Suppose. Okay. What is the area vector of this surface? Where is this surface facing? It is facing this side, no? So the area vector of this is going to be opposite. And the area vector of this is going to face this side. You understand? I hope you are understanding. Area vector of surface 1, considering this is surface 1, is going to face this side. Area vector of the surface 2 is going to face the right side. Area vector of the top surface is going to face this way. This one is going to face below. Okay. The back one is going to face the back side. Now just, you know that phi is equal to what? Phi is equal to?
E vector into A vector.
Yes, yes. But open it up for me. What it will be? What will it be? Phi is equal to
EA
what?
cos theta.
Yeah, EA cos theta. What is theta at this surface? On the top surface. What is theta?
180 degree.
Between
90 degree.
90 degree.
90 degree. For those who don't know, see, look here. Surface on the top is going to make a 90 degree with the electric field lines passing through it. So this is a 90 degree. So what is cos 90? Cos 90 is 0. So that means your phi is 0. Okay. This is an important concept. Please pay attention. A surface which is making and which has an area vector which is making 90 degree with the electric field lines. Okay. Area vector, always remember, is perpendicular to a surface. So if you take any surface, for example, it's going to have an area vector which is perpendicular to it. Okay, it's going to have an area vector perpendicular to it. And so if area vector is perpendicular to the electric field lines passing through the cube, then it's going to make 90 degree. And so flux will be EA cos theta. Cos theta is the angle between electric field lines and the area vector, and it's going to give you cos 90, which is basically 0. Flux is going to be 0. So field through this surface on the top is going to be 0. Similarly, field below is also making a 90 degree angle between the flux and the between the electric field lines and the area vector. So it's going to be 0 again. Okay. The surface behind the cube is also going to do the same thing. The surface front of the cube is going to do the same thing. What is not going to do the same thing is basically the surface 1 and surface 2, which I have marked here. So surface 1 is basically making an angle of 180 degrees to the electric field line. See, surface area of this surface 1. This surface 1 is pointing this side, and the second surface is pointing towards the right side. It's going there. So the angle between the electric field lines and the surface and the area vector on surface 1 is going to be 180 degrees or pi. Okay, and the area vector and the angle between the electric field line and the area vector on surface 2 is going to make pi by 2. 0.
0.
Because electric field lines and area vector are parallel to each
Both
other.
are in same direction.
So we have to just input the values over here. Yes, someone is asking a doubt. Is someone asking a doubt?
No, sir, no
Correct?
doubt.
Oh, okay. So I'm continuing. See, look here. So we know that phi is equal to EA cos theta. What is going to be phi 1? Surface flux through surface 1. It's going to be what? E A.
Minus
What is going to? Huh? See,
The
E is
minus
what? E naught x. Look here. Always remember one thing. When you're given electric field line as E naught x, it means x is what? Variable. Always remember, x is variable. So that means electric field is variable. Always remember that. Okay, don't forget. And always pay attention to this. That when E is given as in terms of x, when electric field is a multiple of x, that means that x can be variable. And so electric field over here is variable. Okay, I just wanted to make that concept very clear for you. So we'll put this entire thing in E. So what we'll get? We got E naught and what? X, and we got I cap. You all can see this now. E naught x I cap. Okay. E naught x I cap into area vector. What is area? What is this area of this side? A. Cube side. I have taken it as A. All the sides are basically A. So it is going to be A square. A square. You all understood this? A square. But look at this. The area vector is pointing which side? It's pointing the opposite side. So it's going to be minus A square I cap. Minus A square I cap. Okay. I cap is what? Vector formation of x-axis. If it is going to point in the opposite direction, that is, it's going to point this side, it's going to be minus I cap. Okay. So minus A square I cap into cos theta. What is cos over here? Cos is what? Cos theta. Theta is what?
180.
Yeah. No. Okay, I have already taken minus now. Okay.
So minus 1 will give you cos 180.
See, you give cos 180. Okay. So cos 180 is going to be what? Minus 1.
Minus 1.
Yeah. So I'll write minus rho here. So what is the entire thing going to be? I into I is going to give you what? I cap dot I cap. Dot product of I cap is what? 1. So what are you going to
1.
get? E naught minus E naught x a square. Am I right? Minus E naught x a square.
Yes, sir.
Minus E naught x a square.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, that xi is just denoting the direction, no, of vectors
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
field line.
No. X. What is x now? Tell me what is x?
A.
What is x? Yes,
Is
right.
the-
That is what you all are not telling me. Yeah? Someone please tell me. Look here. X is what? X is A, na? Surface. This surface is at what distance? Over here, I marked here. It's clear. Can be seen in the video also. It's A, na?
Yes.
It's A. So we'll put A over there. So instead of X, I'll put A. What it will become? A cube.
Minus of E naught A
Minus E
cube.
naught A cube.
Yeah, great. Good. So people are getting it. Okay. Now what is going to be phi 2 then? Surface area of this, the flux through this. It's going to be cos. What will be cos? Cos
0
what?
degree.
0 degree. It's not going to be 180. That means phi 2 will be what? Yeah. What is flux through second surface then?
E
Phi
naught
2
2 A cube.
E naught A
Not
cube.
A cube.
Yeah. But someone is doing a mistake here. Look here. How many A's are there over here? What are you going to take X as? X
It
through
should be
surface
A
2 is
naught
what?
2A cube.
2A.
Exactly.
2A cube.
Yeah, 2A. Everyone understood this? Wait,
Yes,
I'll just if you all have not understood, just let me just write it down. See, not everyone understands and not everyone is at the same. So I'm going to explain it for everyone. Phi 2 is going to be what? It's going to be E dot A, and that is going to be E. Okay, what is E? E naught X I cap, and A is going to be basically the same thing. A square. Okay, A square into direction that is I cap into cos. Okay, cos what? 0. So now you know that cos 0 is 1. So I'm going to rub that down. Okay, cos 0 is 1. What are you ultimately going to get is E naught. X is what? X of this, the X means the distance. Electric field is varying through a distance of X axis. X means what? X is electric field here is varying along the X axis. And so surface 2 is at a distance of A plus A, that is 2A. So we are going to replace X with 2A. So what we are going to get basically, I'll just remove this, and it's going to be 2A I cap. And so E naught 2A into A square is going to basically give you what? It's going to give you E naught 2A cube. E naught 2A cube. So what is going to be the total flux now? The first flux was the flux through this is going to be what? Minus E naught A cube. Flux through this surface is what? E naught 2A cube. So total flux will be the addition of it. So flux through surface 1 and flux through surface 2. So I'll just rub it down. Okay. I hope everyone is understanding. Please bear with me. The board is very small. Okay. So flux phi. So if you want to write down, you can write with me. Phi 1 plus phi 2. And that is going to give you minus E naught A cube plus 2 E naught A cube. And that is simply going to be E naught A cube. This is the entire flux. This is the entire flux through this cube. You understood? Those who got a doubt that why the surface area of the top, bottom, behind and front is not considered, I hope that is clear, that it's making a 90 degree. Electric field lines and area vector is making a 90 degree. Okay, I'm going to rub the entire thing. Let's go through one important concept. Okay, let's go through some complicated concepts. This is one nice concept: electric flux through a hemispherical surface. Electric flux through a hemispherical surface. Look at this. Okay, this is a hemisphere, and there are electric field lines which are passing in the x-axis direction. Okay, this is a hemispherical surface. Always remember, hemispherical means open surface. Closed surface means what? An entire sphere. Okay, but hemisphere there's a difference. I'll tell you how. Okay. Now, electric flux through a hemispherical surface. What is it going to be? How will we identify this? How will we analyze this? Remember one thing, that if it is a linear charge, look here, if it is a linear, anything which is linear in nature, we are told to find a electric field, intensity. Right now we are going to find flux, but I'm just telling you an example that if this is a line of charge and you're told to find a point P over here, you're going to take some distance. You're going to take in a linear, always remember, you're going to take some amount of dq, okay, at a point dx from a distance of x, okay. But when it comes to circular, you are going to take it in terms of what? If it comes to circular, okay, if it comes to circular and you're going to find a point P over here, you're going to take things in terms of angles, theta, okay, and at some certain distance dq, dx, you're going to get dq, which is at an angle of d theta. Always remember that, okay. So when in a linear charge, you're a linear situation, you're going to take x dx as a element, and in terms of hemisphere, what are you going to take? Can anyone guess and tell me? What element are you going to take? We are going to find flux. Flux
A
is
ring.
what? Yeah, a ring.
Ring.
I hope everyone got it. Flux is what? Phi is equal to E dot A. Okay. E dot A. Now look here. Look here. Let me take an angle. Okay. Suppose this is the diameter. Look here. Suppose this is a diameter. Okay. And at this, from this diameter, I'm taking an angle. Say, suppose I'm taking theta. This diameter is making an angle theta. Okay. And there is a small amount of area which I'm taking, which is basically d theta. Which is going to be d theta. So I will write it here. I won't write it. Wait. Just imagine this. If this is theta, okay, this is going to be d theta. Is this visible? Is it visible? D theta. Okay, I'll write it here like this. And so this amount of d theta is going to make a certain area through this hemisphere. It's 3 dimensions, so it's going to be a ring. Okay, it's going to be a ring. So if we want to find out the flux through the entire hemispherical surface, we have to integrate this ring from the smallest amount, from the smallest ring to the biggest ring, from the smallest ring to the biggest ring. So that way we can find the electric flux through the entire hemisphere. If those who know it, good, but those who don't know, look here. Now look here. What is this point? Okay, suppose what is this small area vector over here? Okay, area over here, this small area going to make an area vector in which direction? It's going to make an area vector in this which direction? It's going to make it in perpendicular direction. I told you that area vector is always perpendicular to the surface. So this small amount of area over here is going to make an area vector dA over here. And if I take a small amount of area vector over area over here, it's going to make a small a dA over here. Is this clear? Is everyone clear? Is everyone clear? Is everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now
Yes,
look here. So look at this. Now the radius of this hemisphere, which is from here to here, is not going to be equal to the radius over here of this ring. It is not going to be equal to that ring. So how will we find out? We will take components. We will take components. So let's consider this like this. Okay. Now look here. If this is R, if this is R, what is this going to be?
R cos theta.
R cos theta. And what is this going to be?
R sin theta.
Okay, so which component are we going to take to find out the radius of this ring?
R cos theta.
R cos
R cos
theta.
theta.
Cos theta.
Now some people might have a doubt that R cos theta is basically same from here to here. How is that equal to this? No, it is not that. When you are taking a small amount of d theta, your R cos theta is with your R cos theta. The theta over here is variable with respect to the angle you're taking. So you're depending upon the amount of d theta that you take, R cos theta will be manipulated in that way only. So R cos theta is equal to the radius of this ring. Okay, it's going to be equal to the radius of this ring. Now we'll solve this fast. So d phi is equal to what? D phi is equal to E, okay, into dA into cos theta. D phi is equal to E dA cos theta. But what is cos theta? What is cos theta? Anyone? Look here. I'm going to draw it separately. Look at this point over here. This point. This dA is like this. Electric field lines are like this. Am I right? Okay. If this is, and I've taken theta at y-axis. Here, look here. Theta at y-axis. So, if this is going to be theta, then what? Then what is going to happen? Basically, this also will become theta. So, what will this become? What will this become?
90 minus
90
theta.
minus theta.
Minus theta.
90 minus theta is what? Is the angle between area vector and the electric field. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I could have drawn here, but it makes it very complicated. So I'm drawing here. Okay. So I will write here that E dA cos 90 minus theta. E dA cos 90 minus theta. Now help me fast. What is dA? What is this dA? What is the area of this ring? What is the area of the ring? Okay.
Fires.
No. Not like that. What is dA? What is dA? What? It's going to be what? 2 pi r into what? 2 pi r cos theta, no? 2 pi r what? Because basically r is what? You're taking the cos component, no? This is the r cos theta. I told you I'm going to take this r cos theta. So 2 pi r cos theta, okay, into the thickness of the ring. What is going to be the thickness of the ring? R d theta. Okay, into cos 90 minus theta. Did everyone understand this? Did everyone
Sir, can you explain this part again?
Yes. Thank you. At least someone has asked a doubt. Okay. Are you see here? For example, this is what dA, na? dA. What is dA? Basically, an element which we have taken on the hemisphere. Okay. dA is basically a ring which we have taken on the hemisphere. So it is a ring. Okay. So what is going to be the area? Area will be what? Area will be what? Circumference into thickness of the ring. Imagine this. Okay. Circumference of the ring. Yeah, this is a ring, suppose. I've taken it like this. So it is going to be what? How will you find out what is dA? Circumference 2 pi r into the thickness of this ring. Right? You understood this? The one who asked me doubt?
Yes, sir.
See, no, it is if this is a ring, I'm looking at it from the top, this side, from this side. It's going to be circumference of the ring. Area will be what? Circumference of the ring into thickness of the ring. Okay. What is the thickness of the ring over here? It is r into d theta. Look, we have taken d theta. We are going to vary it, no? We are going to vary it. So it will be r d theta. 2 pi r into r d theta. Circumference into thickness of the ring. Still not clear?
Sir, understood.
Has everyone understood, or should I explain it? There's no response from any of y'all.
Sir, how is the thickness RD theta?
How is the thickness RD theta? See, look here. If this is a ring, I'm just drawing it in big point. This is, I have taken what? This is d theta, no? This is d theta. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if you are going to vary d theta like this, with respect to what are you going to vary it? With respect to radius, na?
Yes, sir.
Or in other words, look here. In other words, if you remember, theta in solid state, in solid angle, I mentioned that if there is an angle like this, okay, and this is a part of a circle, I've taken a small arc, and this is theta. Theta is going to be what? Equal to length
L
of
by
the
R.
arc divided by r. Okay, so what is going to be L can be written as how? L can be written as L is equal to theta into r. So dl will be what? R d theta. You understood?
Yes, sir.
You understood, na? dl will be r d theta. Basically, this will be equal to r times d theta. Okay, so that is how we came up to this thing. Okay, so now since there is 1 minute, I will just write this again, and that is E into 2 pi r cos theta r d theta into cos 90 minus theta. All you have to do now is integrate this, and that will be your flux. So integrate this, first simplify this. Once you simplify this, integrate it, and you'll get the flux. We'll do that in the next class, okay? Since there's no much time. Take the attendance. Okay, everyone? Has everyone understood this little bit?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If not, please tell me no. If at all, please tell me no. I will explain it again. Okay, I will explain it again. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. Hope to see you all in the next lecture. Next lecture will be at 3:20. So I will review this again, and we'll go through this. This is important to know so that you understand Gauss. Okay, this is important to know so that you understand Gauss. So, and Gauss's lecture, I will try to complete it in the next lecture, that is in the evening. So be present. Okay, it's very easy and it's very nice. There's only one minute left. For sure. Okay. There's only 1 minute left, so I'll be ending the lecture.